Alas, poor Philip. I knew him well, Rangers fans. He was a man of infinite excuses and gaslighting us for the last 6 months. He got sacked yesterday and not before time. It should have happened even at the end of last season, but certainly before New Year. He should have been back to Belgium where he can eat his waffles and chocolate and admire the wonderful, weak, easy flowing football that they obviously have in Belgium, because that's not what he encountered in this country, and that's why he failed ultimately. When he came in, everybody was impressed, including me, because he had a presence about him, a stature, the way he spoke. In fact, he spoke better English than most Celtic fans, but he did seem and he did look and he did sound as if he was a proper Rangers manager, the right type, a bit of authority about him. Nobody was going to mess with him, we thought. And people were even calling him the new Walter Smith in terms of a figure who had the authority and the dignity of your best Rangers managers. And then after a great start where he got us into a title winning position, it all went to pot. I think the first sign was Motherwell beating us at home, which was just ridiculous, and then losing to the likes of Ross County and drawing at Dundee, and that was a game of bogey. The league was gone. We still had the cup final to look forward to, and we lost that, although we were the better team. We should have won. We had a goal disallowed, and Player of the Year, Jack Butland, made a boob near the end, which resulted in the winning goal. So it all went wrong from about March last year till the end of the season. And that was a year ago practically now. And yet here we are, actually worse than we were then, despite a few new signings and getting rid of the old guard like Lundstrom and Jack, etc. Things got worse. We endured the worst defeat in our history when Queen's Park beat us a couple of weeks ago at Ibrox. St Mirren won at Ibrox for the first time in 34 years, and it's 40 years since they beat us back to back. So all that is just shocking. Didn't qualify for the Champions League, obviously, although we could blame the foreign ref for sending Shefty off for nothing at Hampden, and you can't blame him for us having to play at Hampden. But this season's not been good enough. He plays the same formation every time, same failure. Players get played no matter how badly they're playing, like Tavernier, Tom Lawrence before he got injured, Drossers constantly. So you can blame the financial situation, you can blame the board, but ultimately he's the guy that picks the team, picks the players, puts them in a certain position, has a plan. Well, that's not been obvious, and hopefully everything turns out all right. And of course, his plan, his players, his formation doesn't turn out all right because it's not suited to Scottish football and the jobbers that we play week in, week out, who just get stuck in, are well organised, get in your face. They have got a bit of ability in places as well, so they will score a goal if you let them, and too often we let them. So it's all going wrong. He should have got the chop ages ago. Yesterday finally came. Let's hope we get somebody in the meantime that'll just keep the ship steady until we get a proper new manager with proper new owners as soon as that takeover happens. I don't want to see Barry Ferguson anywhere near the club. He is rubbish. He can't even do a decent job as a pundit, never mind as a manager. So I don't want to see him anywhere near the club as an interim manager. If he's willing, I'd take the assistant manager right now and see if he can bring in new ideas now that if he was in charge. So I'd give him the last few months of the season. If not, somebody like even Neil McCann, who's been a manager in the top league and reasonably good at it. Great pundit, knows what he's talking about, shows the faults that we've all witnessed and identifies them on TV. So if he can do that, he can do them while he's in the dressing room or on the training ground. So I'd take him, just interim manager. Let's see who we get. Preferably not a foreigner who won't know what this league is like. We need somebody who knows what's needed to beat the Motherwells and Hibs and St Johnsons of this world, not the Lyon or the Sparta Pragues or whatever. So an interesting few months ahead. The immediate vision is on interim manager, I suppose, but an interesting few months. It can only cheer us up because it's been a terrible season so far, and I don't see us getting past Fenerbahce. So looking forward to a new manager is probably the best we can look forward to in the next 2-3 months. So I'll get back to you whenever that guy's appointed. Oh, who knows? Might even be a woman. They might even put Potter, the women's manager, up to being in charge of the men's team. She couldn't be any worse, actually. So, interesting days ahead. Onwards and upwards. Poor Philippe.